Good evening, everyone. How are you all? It's the guy himself speaking, and today I'll do another story time session with you by this book collection. I have a good story in mind you might like me to hear me read. Let me just find it. I go to page 54. It's called Percy Runs Away. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. Henry Gordon James was shut up for several days. At last the Fat Controller arrived. "I hope you are sorry," he said sternly, "and understand that you are not so important after all. Thomas, Edward and Percy have worked the main line very nicely. They need a change, and I will let you out if you promise to be good." "Yes, sir," said the three engines, "we will." "I'm glad to hear that, but please remember that this no shunting nonsense must stop." He told Edward, Thomas and Percy that they can go and play on the branch line for a few days. And they ran off happily to find Annie and Clara at the junction. The two coaches were so pleased to see Thomas again, and he took them for a run at once. Edward and Percy played with trucks. "Stop, stop, stop," screamed the trucks, and they were pushed into their proper sidings. But the two engines laughed and went on shunting till the trucks were tidily arranged. Next, Edward took some empty trucks to the quarry. Percy was left to mow. He didn't mind that at all. He liked watching trains and being cheeky to the other engines. "Hurry, hurry, hurry," he would call to them. Gordon, Henry, and James got very cross. After a while, he took some trucks over to the main line to another siding. When they were tidy, he ran on to the main line again. He waited for the signalman to set the point so he could go back to the yard. Edward had warned Percy, "Be careful on the main line. Whistle to the signalman you are there." But Percy did not remember to whistle, so the signalman was so busy and forgot Percy. Bells rang and the signal box. The man answered, saying the line was clear, and set the signals for the next train. Percy waited and waited. The points were still against him, so he couldn't move. But unfortunately, he looked on the main line. "Beep, beep," he whistled, and Horace, rushing straight towards him, was Gordon with the express. "Express coming through," whistled Gordon. His driver shut off steam and applied his brakes. Percy's driver turned on full steam. "Back, Percy, back," he urged. But Percy's wheels wouldn't turn. Gordon was coming so fast it didn't seem he would stop. With shut eyes, Percy waited for a crash. His driver and fireman jumped out. "Oh no," groaned Gordon. "Get out of my way." Percy opened his eyes. Gordon had stopped with Percy's buffers a few inches from his own. But Percy had begun to move. "I won't stay here. I'll run away," he puffed. Oh dear, then it's happening. He was soon clear of the station and running as fast as he could. He went through Edward Station whistling loudly, and he was so frightened he ran up Gordon's Hill without stopping. He was tired then, but wanted to stop, but he couldn't. He had no driver or fireman to shut off steam or to apply the brakes. "I shall have to run till my wheels wear out," he thought sadly. "Oh dear, oh dear." Poor Percy. "I want to stop, I want to stop." He puffed in a tired sort of way. He passed another signal box. "I know just what you need, little Percy," called the man kindly. He said the points, and Percy puffed into a siding in a nice empty siding any in a bank of earth. Percy was now too tired to care where he went. "I want to stop. I want to stop." "Well, oh my goodness, I have stopped," he puffed thankfully as his bunker buried in the bank. "Never mind, Percy," said the workman as they dug him out. "You shall have a drink and some coal, and then you feel much better." Presently Gordon arrived. "Well done, Percy. You started so quickly you stopped a very nasty accident." "I'm sorry I was cheeky," said Percy. "You were very clever to stop." "Oh, no problem, Percy. But you were the brave one. Well done." Percy now works in the yards and finds coaches for the trains. He is still cheeky because he's that sort of engine, but he was always very careful whenever he goes on the main line. The end. The episode is actually my favourite Percy episode. And this is a very fun story because it gives him character development. And Gordon was very kind to him at the end. I'm sure you guys like this story too. Thank you for listening. And you guys, try not to end up like him. You never know what might happen. Okay, take care of yourselves.